Hi guys, welcome to Beyond Studio J. I'm your host Josh and I have beautiful Shivi with us today. Welcome Shivi.
Thank you, George, for having me here.
Oh, well, this is going to be the most personal Beyond Studio J interview till now. Shivi is going to actually be sharing with us. She's a survivor of domestic violence, and she's brave enough to share her story with us and hopefully inspire and help lots of other people in similar situations. So, Shivi, thank you so much. This is amazing that you are willing to talk openly about this.
I think it's my pleasure, and yeah, I wanted to do that as well. So thank you.
Amazing. So, should we start from the beginning, Shivi? So, basically, you had an arranged marriage.
Yes, we had an arranged marriage, so I just met the guy once, and next day we had the roka ceremony. People understand kind of an engagement,
Yeah.
and it was decided that within 7 days we would be getting married. That kind of bothered me, but
Wow.
yeah. Um, but still, families were okay a bit. Things were looking fine. So I said, okay, maybe like if that's what they've agreed, I'll just
Yeah.
like I'm kind of like old school person.
Yeah.
Now I might have changed a bit, but like at that time, like I was like, okay, just go with what everyone
Yeah.
is saying. There was no pressure as such. Like they are quite. Now I won't say my family is conservative or something, but like
Yeah, your family seems like they're actually quite liberal and modern and
yeah.
supportive.
Yeah, but it's just that things just happen. We had like mutual. I think there were some mutual relatives, and then there were discussions, and people just don't
Yeah.
think it that way. And things were like they were coming across as friendly people, so you don't
Yeah.
really think okay, it should be like it's always said that marriage is a gamble. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you don't think in that perspective. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was one thing. And then yeah, we had within 7 days we got married, and he came here,
Yeah.
and I was there working.
Yeah. And so, how long before you actually, I think it was about a year
Yeah,
before you came here?
yeah, it was a year. We had long distance relationship
Yeah.
after marriage, and then I came here.
Yeah. And during that 1 year when it was long distance, already there were some red flags.
Yeah, they were like he already advised me that he was short tempered. To me, that came across as a like honesty.
Yeah, like he's so self-aware that
Yes.
he's admitting that he has a short temper.
Yeah, so I
Right.
thought like maybe okay, short temper people have that, and he's admitting to it. It might not be that bad,
Mm.
but yeah, it was already like when I used to go out with friends, I used to inform him, and then he would tell me like to come back at a certain time, and I said I was never told that by my own parents. Like those were the
Yeah,
kind of things.
control.
Those were and he's far away. So, but like I
Yeah.
mean, I thought maybe he's just concerned. So you have those two different.
You keep justifying.
Yeah, you keep
Yeah.
just, and because I was already married, as I said, like I'm going to old school that way. So I was like, okay.
How old were you, Shivi?
That time I was 27, I think 20.
Okay,
Yeah,
around 10,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 27.
And when during the year that you were in India, when you were long distance, when you could tell or there's a bit of control or just things you're not used to, you didn't confide in your mom or your brothers?
No, I would never want to do anything like that would upset them.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm quite.
You're old school. But looking back now, do you wish you
Yeah,
had?
yeah. I definitely would recommend that if it's not your mother, it might be your one friend or your.
You didn't even tell your
No,
friends, not
none
a
of my
single
no
person.
no. I was just keeping everything to myself, and this happened to be my very first relationship as such. Like I didn't have any
Yeah.
boyfriends before,
Yeah.
so I mean, I was like just trying to gauge and justify myself that okay, maybe this there are ups and downs in relationships. Things can
Yeah.
improve, and because he's farther away from me, we are not living together. Maybe there are
Yeah.
misunderstandings when I live with him. things can get better.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, so I'm always like I'm otherwise quite optimistic person. I still am. I
Yeah.
always see the bright side of things. So yeah, I
Yeah.
was just trying to okay.
So then you actually came to Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah. And how was it?
it was I would say mixed experience. So he did introduce me to his friends, which was good. We went out for dinners and like he showed me around like Phillip Islands and like all places.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it was good, but every now and then he would like just lose his temper for
No reason.
yeah, quite often, and then just things just keep building up when yeah, and then I became pregnant
Yeah.
within I think 3 months when I was here.
Right.
Um, and then that gave me another reason to stay with him to have a family.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
just like just run away and
Yeah. So can we talk? So basically, when once you came to Melbourne, before you made the decision to leave, you were together for one
1 year.
year. Can we talk about all that 1 year and all the different types of abuse and the red flags
Yes.
you're talking about?
Yeah, I would want to tell like it when we talk about abuse, people often say that it's like people are being hit, like it's always physical.
Yeah.
There are like the abuse starts from like a very minor thing is like a financial abuse. We have to identify that.
Right.
Financial abuse is like I had a job for myself, but my money was put into a joint account and that got transferred straight into his account. And I was given like a pocket money kind of
Oh
thing.
my God.
So that's a control. You have to identify that when you are earning, you can like I've never done that. I had worked for 5 years back home myself. I had leased an apartment for myself. I had paid my own bills, so I was quite independent before that. So it's and then like from that like getting a pocket money kind of thing and
Yeah.
and not even like
And did you try and fight that? Did you
no I did
say no, you
I
just
did
accepted it?
yeah. So that's one form of abuse. That's also an
Yeah.
abuse.
Yeah.
Then there's emotional abuse, which constantly happens if people are like putting you down in some way or the other.
Yeah. Criticizing.
Criticizing.
Yeah.
That's emotional abuse. So these are the red flags that you have to identify, I think, because people always say like until unless he hits me or pushes me,
Yeah.
it's not an abuse, but it starts from there, like
Yeah.
these simple things. Then there's sexual abuse. Despite of him being my husband,
Yeah.
he has no right to like
Yeah.
assault me in that manner if I'm not willing.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be mutual consent. There has to be permission. Just because it's a marriage,
Yeah,
that
doesn't give the other person. So as I said that this was my very first relationship, so I was just trying to understand the whole concept of a relationship.
Yeah.
And I was giving it time and I was thinking that things can improve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean all these different abuses you have to identify, and then later when I was pregnant, and then they expect me to do like um,
His parents, his own family was also quite abusive, right? Like,
verbally yes.
yeah.
They would emotionally. It was quite emotional. Like it was more of an emotional trauma is something which takes a lot of time to recover, more than the physical trauma, I would say, because when you are constant, like my self confidence, like was shattered to pieces when I left the house. I didn't have like I mean, despite of me being brave enough to leave the house, I still am like, even though I might appear to be strong, but there's some part of me like thinking that I may not be able to do this thing, just because I was told so often that I'm useless or worthless.
Yeah. Like brainwashing.
Brainwashing, yeah, and it takes time. It's not easy.
So, should we talk about how did you actually find the courage to leave?
I think in between, like when I was 7th or 8th month pregnant, he called my mom. That was the first time my mom actually like or my family got aware that there are some troubles in the
Because
relationship.
he called them.
Yeah, that I can't deal with your daughter. You take her, and and then like my family started messaging me, telling me that you have to confide if there are issues. Tell somebody, tell the local authorities, tell people so
Yeah.
that like because they could not physically come
Yeah.
here.
Your family, like your mom and your brothers, actually were very supportive. Like
Supportive, yeah.
they
That
were
I
just
think, yeah,
concerned about you.
yeah, they were, and I think that's where family and friends take an important part because if a girl is not supported by her own family, then that makes it even more worse.
Yeah, it's such an important message because I think in the Southeast Asian communities, like a lot of times women don't get the support of their families, and I think it's so important that parents and siblings and need to just let them know that doesn't we're here for you.
Yeah.
Like
So I like I have two elder brothers, like they're 7 and 11 years, so they are just like my father figures
yeah,
to me. So yeah, I remember like my brother said that there is a very thin line between an ego and self-respect. If your ego is getting hurt, stay in the relationship. But if your self-respect is getting hurt, get out. So I mean that like just like that still sticks with me.
wow,
And he like my brother also said, um, if you want to be with him, we are with you. If you want to be away with him, we are still with you. We are always with you. You have to make your own decisions. We can't be physically present with you. It's going to be tough life there, like outside if you move out. But you have to gauge what is more tough, living with them or living independently.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean these kind of emotional support when you get from your family and even cousins. Like I have very beautiful cousins. Like she was like very supportive throughout. Like you have to take care of yourself because if you are good, your baby will be good. So all these,
Right, because you're also pregnant at
yeah,
that time, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and like I mean simple things like you don't have to like if there is a fight, no matter what happens, eat because it's not just you are feeding your baby. So I made sure like
My
I'm not
God.
affecting in any shape or form.
Yeah. And what about your mom? Like, how did your mother respond?
Oh, she was like she's quite strong because like when I was 14, my father also passed away. So she also single-handedly had brought up all three kids.
Mm.
She was a working woman itself at that time, which is not quite common in India. Like she's
Yeah.
74 now.
Yeah.
So like she's quite strong and stubborn. Like she was there. How did you even stay for that long?
Yeah.
I would have come out like you shouldn't put up with any sort of that abuse.
Wow. Your mother said that if she had been in the situation, she would have left. And the daughter is more conservative than the mother. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean that's how like and yeah, and she was like you have to. I mean she was quite worried. Like she would call and even my calls were put on speakers to see what I was. So that's kind of like all these things makes you like
Yeah.
um, you have to identify and
Yeah.
move out.
So then, can we talk about the night that you actually left?
Yeah, so actually he called the police himself.
He called the police.
Police
Yeah.
saying that my wife wants to commit suicide, which I wasn't.
Mm.
And because the police was already coming, I said, if you want me out of the house, I might as well move out with my daughter and give the facts to the police.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
And sorry,
And
so Shivi, so your daughter was born now?
yes, she was 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what I like. I mean, this was a new place. I had no place. Like that was a house that we bought together. Just, but like his parents were also living. But I
Oh,
moved out. Like I didn't know where to go.
you guys had just bought a house together
Yeah,
and had a baby.
yeah. So as in like because my all my salary was going to him,
Yeah.
so it was like, and at the time he was earning a bit lesser than me.
Yeah.
I was in a
Oh,
contract job. I didn't have my PR at that time as well.
yeah.
So he I was the primary owner of the house because of the salary.
Yeah.
That like I didn't know all that. That's when I came, that's all these things I came to know when I was actually out of the house, and then when I was fighting for the like all the different cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, I mean when I was like, okay, the now this is it, because my daughter is also every day listening to, there was no baby shower done, there was no house decoration, not even a cot was bought for her. She was sleeping on a bed, um, and like things like that was happening, and then I was okay. Now I have to move out, and I don't know what gives you the courage. But I didn't even have a place to live. I don't know where. And the police said, "Where are you going to stay?" I said, "I don't know. Where can I stay?" They said, "There's a refugee asylum. You can stay there." At that point of time, mutual friends had just come to visit us,
Yeah.
and I just asked the police, "Can I stay with them for a while?" And it was 17th of December around Christmas time, so
Yeah.
they agreed. Okay, and then I stayed for them for a little while, and then everybody has plans for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think I moved like about 8 houses during that time,
Wow.
because everybody had different kind of plans, and
Yes.
I was living with absolute strangers,
Yeah.
but they kind of gave me shelter
Okay, they took
because
care
yeah,
of you.
yeah, yeah. I didn't even have to bother about the cooking. They got me the food. They got me like little things. Few of them had their own kids, so they gave all the like clothes for
Yeah.
me and for my daughter as well. Those kind of things,
Wow.
a little bit, and then for me to survive for like a couple of weeks and stuff.
Were you sur- were you surprised, Shivi? Because when there's the fear of where am I gonna go? Who's gonna take care of me? And then suddenly people were so loving and caring. Like,
Yeah, it brings back the faith in humanity that you kind of lose.
yeah.
Um, and there was one person who actually was his close friend, but she kind of helped me as well when she came to know like that.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to like an institute which is like Saint Kilda Moms. They helped me give the cot and all the
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
clothes for the kids. That's like you get to know all these.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean, and my brother actually had sent me the hotline numbers in actually like I mean,
Oh.
I could search them myself.
Yeah, but
My brother
yeah.
had given me all the hotline numbers, call them, and then you just have to call those numbers.
So what are they like hotline numbers for what?
Well, they are for domestic like violence. You have to. I think
Ah.
it's 1800 respect. That's the one. They
Ah.
would connect.
Okay.
I can share the links with you
Yeah,
if you want.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
So you
like
call them
you
on.
just call them, and then they will ask you questions. What is your situation?
Yeah.
What happened? And then they put me in the high risk category, that you are not safe.
Yeah.
And then whatever they asked me to do, I was just blindly following them. He said,
Ah.
make no contact with him, do this, do that. They
Yeah.
introduced me to the lawyers. They helped
Oh,
me.
wow.
He also took his sponsorship back, so I didn't have like a valid visa.
Right.
So they helped me stay and get a permanent
Yeah.
residency as well.
Yeah. And were you still working at this point?
I was in a contract job, but my workplace was good enough to extend my contract.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like I didn't have a PR, but they extended my contract and they gave me like discretionary.
Yeah.
So my aim was first to find a house for myself and a daycare for my daughter,
Yeah.
and then from there I can join back work, because if I don't have a daycare, then I can't. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, during all these times, also had got restraining orders, which is to prevent them
Yeah.
to contact me or hurt me.
So did they try to? Did they try to contact you? Did
They
they want to
did.
take your daughter away or
They
any that
were
kind of
not. No, I don't think so. They were even interested. They were. They even said that we probably might give it to a government institute. So
your child?
yeah. So they were not interested in the daughter at all. Like maybe because she's a daughter. So yeah, I think.
So so Shivi, what gives you strength? What gave you strength to just keep going?
I think it was my daughter. When you see a child, I think you have to fight for her.
Yeah.
More so, I was fighting for her,
Yeah.
for her having a beautiful life rather
Yeah.
than like myself. So I
Yeah.
was just looking at her and like and she can't be around these noises and like abuse, and where there's threats to her and my life as well. So yeah, I mean I think she's my strength. She's not my weakness.
Yeah. Yeah. Your daughter is your strength.
Yeah. She gave me the courage. I don't know, like when I look back now, I don't, as what I was thinking, I just had $50 of my pocket. I didn't have anything, and I'm just like going nowhere, but like trying to contact and like, and then just getting the helps. Luckily,
Yeah.
we had smartphones at that time, so I just had my phone,
Yeah.
and then I was
Yeah.
trying to look for uh, because I had done all this back in India as well, so it kind of like helped me a bit
Done
on
what?
the like looking for apartments and leasing the apartments,
Ah,
paying my
yeah.
bills.
Yeah.
So I was independent quite a lot, like for 5 years before
Yeah.
coming here. So I think that in a way assisted me. So when I was looking for houses, I just found a daycare where I was a place where I managed for 20 days. Some housemate was leaving, their housemate was not
Mm.
there, so I got a room there. So I said like I have 20 days to sort all
Yeah.
these things out.
Yeah.
I got myself a restraining order for a year so that like I won't be bothered for my me and my daughter's security.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I got a daycare in that street where I was living. And then when I moved out of daycare, I saw a lease board, and I just noted down the address, and then like the inspection was on that Saturday itself, and I went to this inspection. I filled the form, and I said ready to move in. I borrowed money from all my relatives, which were kind
Yeah.
enough to give it to me.
Oh.
And then yeah, I leased, and I got my application was approved.
Wow.
So
Someone who's looking after
yeah,
you, like
yeah.
yeah.
Those people who I stayed with, one of them had given me a mattress. I didn't have a bed, but I did have a mattress. So yeah, from there it started, and then these institute, which I said, like Saint Hilda
Yeah.
Moms, they provide all the essentials to me. Again, because I was not a resident here, I had to pay for all the court case fees. So there was child custody involved. There was um,
Yeah.
property settlement cases, and then you have a passport. Like it keeps going on and on
Is
and
it
on.
is it done now? Like
It's done. Like it took 2 years, but like yeah, my for I think after 3 months in around March, my mom was actually traveled on her birthday. She managed to come here. So for the
oh
first 3 months, like and people were yeah, they were kind enough to give said your mom is coming here, we should at least have a bed for you, not just a mattress. So they gave a
oh.
bed, and so like we are not sleeping on the floor.
So then it was your mom, you, and your daughter.
Yeah, after 3 months. And so my mom, like I had like emotional support at that time to just because court cases are like
Mm.
nightmares, and they were like Have you, they interview you as well, like, and they said, have you ever been? I said, I haven't been to even court in India, like my
Yeah.
first experience over here. It's
Yeah.
intimidating. Like you have to go by yourself. I was actually for the restraining orders, I was representing myself. There was no lawyer, so I was just uh, for the very first, because the hearings are like there's an interim hearing and then there's a final hearing, so all those kind of things happen. But yeah, you just have to, I think you just have to be yourself, speak the truth, and things just fall in place. You just have to have that faith, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
how would I even think, like, with $50 I would survive in a.
But you did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and things just keep falling in place. People are there to help you. Strangers help me. And there are people who I've never seen. They had poured in donations and stuff for me to survive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Shivi, just like for example, anyone watching who maybe is in a similar situation and they also feel like they're being controlled, they don't have the finances, and they kind of don't really know what to do. Like, what would you say? Like,
I think you don't have to put up with any kind of abuse in your life. Um, like I was working, but like you might have some other skills which you can explore. All these hotline numbers, they even help you find, like, I had a job, but if I didn't, they assist you in finding a job for yourself. So like there are heaps of people around you. You just have to share what you are going through, and they'll help you. You
yeah,
don't have to be dependent, because I think when, if you are not working, then there's a sense of fear, like how will I survive without finance.
yeah,
But you might have some skill or the other. It could be cooking, it could be anything.
yeah,
Everyone has that skill in them, and that just needs to be explored, and people are there to help you.
yeah,
you Initially I was like in debt, grabbing, like taking money from all the relatives here and there, but like once I was able enough, I repaid them back. And some were kind enough not even to ask me, we don't want it back, it's just a
yeah,
gift from us.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how it is.
yeah.
So
I mean, one of the things that really, when you told me your story the first time, that I was so touched was the fact that when you feel like you're alone, and even though you have the support of your family, but they're not in Australia,
yeah,
they're in India,
yeah,
and actually that these strangers came, they
yeah,
came and they supported you and helped you, and what you said, it restores your faith in
humanity,
humanity.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because yeah, otherwise, like you would say, like the world is bad, it's not a beautiful place, but that's not the case. And then you just have to identify yourself, what your strengths are, and work on them. Like I mean, I remember I didn't even know how to use public transport at the time when I got separated, and I was like just walking, kilometers with the grocery bags in my hand, and then the person I was staying with, there's a bus. I said, how can I take my daughter? The pram also goes in the bus. You know that? And I'm like, okay, so you explore. Like I mean,
yeah,
things just fall into place. You just have to keep yourself, like it. Then like my brother's words were coming. It would be tough, but it's at least like you are not focused on emotion abuses that you are
yeah,
listening to, or like emotional stress that you are going through. It's like it may take a while. It took me a lot of while to get to the position I am today now,
mm,
but yeah, it will come there, and
yeah,
then you just go with
yeah.
the flow. You just stay happy.
Yeah. Ah, Shivi, you're such a role model. You like look at what you've been through, but and I mean it's not just today. Like I mean, Shivi's always like the kindest, sweetest, always smiling. Like you have such an amazing heart and strength, Shivi. Really, I've always felt that about you.
I think it's just that, and then like I mean, you have to also understand, like, to get out from the emotional stress. I think that talking to lawyers was also a kind of therapy for me as well when I was,
Oh.
because I was telling my story. I had to tell them what has happened to me, and that was like giving out like, well, I was emotionally healing at that time, which I didn't realize.
Right.
Those kind of things, and then you have to find your interest. Like I was like passionate about dancing. I joined Studio J.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like this is my second home now. Like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to identify what pleases you and like makes you happy. Because if you are happy, the people around you are happy.
Yeah.
It's not just like people might say like, okay, you just have to, look after the kids. Yeah, you have to look after the kids, but if you are healthy and fine, you are happy, your kid will be healthy and fine as well. So you have to look after yourself and your child.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's important as well to
Yeah.
look after yourself and your interests. So
Yeah.
find your passion and work on it.
Yeah.
Stay happy.
Beautiful. I mean, right. Like, I mean, to be a role model for your daughter, right? Like,
Yeah.
be a happy.
And I think she's a role model for me.
And she is a role model.
Yeah. She's so chubby, she's so lively. Yeah. I mean, when I look at her now, I said, like, yeah, I mean, what's missing? Nothing is missing.
And how old is she now?
She's 8.
8.
Yeah, she's in grade 3. Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
From 8 weeks to 8 years.
from 8 weeks to 8 years. What a journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm feeling younger every time. I'm living my
You're getting younger and younger each year.
Yeah, I'm living my like childhood with her. Like I'm growing with her, all my fond memories. Like I mean, I was a spoiled child. I would say like I was. My mom was the youngest in her family. My father was the youngest in his family. I was the youngest in my family.
Yeah.
So I was all pampered and like all that joy is coming back to my life, which like I might have lost. And people can see that. Like my friends are saying, like we are seeing you and even better than what you were before. So that makes me happy.
Oh, wow, Shivi. Like, I feel transformed because, we started off with talking about such a dark thing, but look at how we're ending with this just amazing positive note.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, wow. I mean, she's an inspiration. I mean, I'm sure everyone watching is probably feeling exactly what I'm feeling right now. Thank you.
And thanks, Josh, and thank you for having me. I think, yeah, I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful to share our stories,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if people like, I just want to put it out there. People are there to help you. You just have to you have to have your voice and make your points clear. Understand that you are also a person. You have to have your own identity, I think.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.